Backwards Man, number one. This is from Ounce Comics. The people from Ounce reached out to me to do another review. I did do a review for them before Captain Kush. This is a new comic, Backwards Man, number one. And they asked if I wanted to do a review, and I said yes, I would do a review. I'm going to use my space system, so story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get in any category. If I give it a 0 in a category, that means it was garbage. If I give it a 1, that means it was okay. If I give it a 2, that means it was amazing. And then you get your score out of 10. So typically, like 5, 6 is kind of a pass, right? If everything is good or okay, then a 5 out of 10 is okay. 6 is like, a bit better. So I'm going to give the storyline a 1. The reason I'm giving the storyline a 1 is that it's nothing to do with this particular comic, but it's sort of this general thing in comics now that it isn't for me, which is we're going to build up to something. So this cover shows Backwards Man, and this looks very cool. So when I saw this, I thought this is kind of neat. It almost feels like it's a manga. There's so many manga out there. Manga's super hot. It's always been amazing for me. And it just looks like this weird concept of this guy here. And I have a digital version, so I can show you off the iPad only. But it's almost like Too Bad from He-Man, except being side-to-side merged. They're back-to-back merged. And I thought, oh, this will be really fun. We don't get to see Backwards Man. It's sort of I guess next issue he'll become Backwards Man. That's a thing that's happening in all comics nowadays. It's like this kind of drawn out stuff. So I'm assuming these two guys, you can tell by the comic, these two are going to be the ones who are going to be Backwards Man. I wish he was just Backwards Man immediately. Like, have him do something, fight a guy or something, and then, maybe the government is looking into him, or I don't know, something, and then you find out how he became Backwards Man. But right away, it's like, I'm looking for Backwards Man, and wait, I didn't get him, so I thought, well, what am I want Backwards Man. Like, that's what you're promising me on the cover, but I don't get it. I understand. This is my own personal opinion. Some people are going to really think, well, yeah, that's how comics are. You can't just get right away. There's got to be a little bit, you got to build up to it. But why? It's a comic book. I want to see Backwards Man fight guys. So that's my gripe on the story. Otherwise, the concept is really neat. And it looks like it'll probably be a lot of fun because there's some cool monsters in here. Like, check this guy out. He's pretty cool. So it looks like it's going to be really good, but I am reviewing issue 1 only. For the pacing, I'm going to give the pacing a 1.5. It was fine. I wasn't bored, even though I didn't get Backwards Man in the issue. Some of the stuff was funny with this guy. Kind of bumbling around. He's kind of a goof. You got this other guy who's like a prisoner. So he'll be the other part of Backwards Man, I'm assuming. There's a good fight in the prison here. Nice little prison fight. That was nicely done. And yeah, I wasn't bored. It's cool. Like, some fun things. But ultimately, I think the pacing, I could have given it more if there was more action. I like my comics with more action. That's one thing you get from manga. You get a weird idea and there's always massive amounts of action. You might have like a 10-page battle or something crazy, right? Anyway, there's still some decent action here though. For the artistry, I'm going to give the artistry a 1.5. I actually really like the art. That's probably the best thing about it. It's very colorful and bright. Again, it is digital. I don't know what it looks like in the printed version, but I like the beginning here where the guy's watching TV and they got the lines on the TV. That's kind of cool perspective of the TV. And you have all these weird kind of wacky things going on. There's this really funny commercial talking about Hemocorp. It's kind of a making fun of those old infomercial style things. That's kind of cool. I like this monster again attacking this woman, biting her. That's pretty nice. Pretty good. So I actually really like the art. Again, I'm not saying this art is better than Jack Kirby or something. I'm saying that for this comic, it actually fits and kind of works well with the concept. So I thought it was a lot of fun. I like this guy. He's kind of neat. The characters are unique. Well, I'll get to characters. I'm going to give the characters a 1. They are unique looking, so you can tell who everybody is. I just didn't get to know them that much. I got to know the one guy a little bit. He's a bit of a buffoon or whatever. I would have liked to have a little bit, I don't want to say less with the characters, but maybe a couple of pages with what the characters are and how they are, and then Backwards Man, and then boom, he's fighting a guy, and then you learn about him that way. But I still like the characters. I'm close to giving it a 1.5 on the characters, which maybe I will give it a 1.5. I'm really teetering on this one between saying, yeah, the characters were good, or the characters like, yeah, they were pretty good, right? I wouldn't say they're amazing because it's only issue 1. I'll give it 1.5 for the characters. I do like this. I really like this guy for sure. He was cool. The other guy's all right. So it'll be fun when they become one, I think. For the enjoyment factor, I'll give it a 1. You know, I liked it. It was okay. I would read issue 2 on digital. So that would be the way I would continue this. And then if I really enjoyed issue 2 and issue 3, I would think about getting physical copies. Right now, for me, digital is my go-to first because it's usually cheaper. There's no shipping involved. And the shipping to Canada is a killer. So I would always read everything digital. And if I liked it, I would keep it as digital, and that's it. And if I loved it, I'd buy the physical. So I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. I liked it. I will say that it is better than some of the other indie comics that I've read recently that have been really making a big amount of money, that I've been thinking, this isn't really that good, like at all, really. But this was better than that. But anyways, I really enjoyed it. If you're into indie comics, why don't you check it out? The idea is cool. I'm sure you're going to get Backwards Man in issue 2. So from that point on, it might be a lot of fun. But there you have it, 6.5 out of 10. Please remember to like the video, consider subscribing. That's it. Until next time.